Good afternoon and welcome to the April 14th, 2025 meeting of the Westport Board of Health. Happy finally spring. It's a beautiful day out there, so we'll make this meeting quick. Under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, this meeting is being recorded. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Also, just want to make an announcement. Because Phil Weinberg is not here, we will not do reorganization of the board after the election until the next meeting. So you'll be stuck with me at least for one more meeting as chair. Move on to the Director of Public Health written report. Any questions on that?
I have one, but I spoke with Nick and wanted to see what the other issues were that he had.
Has many.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll turn to your verbal report.
So the blood drive schedule, we talk about this every meeting, but there's a little bit of a change in the schedule now. So the next one is April 17th at St. John the Baptist Church from 9 to 3:30. Then again on May 15th at St. John the Baptist Church, 9 a.m. to 3:30. June 12th, St. John the Baptist Church, 9 a.m. to 3:30. And then June 12th and July 17th, it's going to be at Whites of Westport, 9 a.m. to 3:30 on both of those days. The contract for the transfer station improvements has been fully executed. Work is going to begin within the next 1 to 2 weeks. I met with the highway surveyor today down at the transfer station because they're going to do a lot of the prep work ahead of the paving company coming down. So we got kind of a game plan going on for that. Yeah, there's a good solid, I guess, weeks worth of prep work that's going to have to be done. So right after that, the paving company will come in and probably start the new paving up top before they start sealing the cracks, filling the cracks and sealing the existing asphalt. Mm-hmm. And then once they're done with that, they'll move down below to pave that lower lot. Okay. I do have to reach out to the bike committee and the scouts because we got to, kind of get those bikes out of there, remove the bike racks out of the way, and see if the scouts can take down their tents so we can get that paved and they can put them back up.
Just a reminder, the transfer station is, and the office are closed Friday and Monday for Good Friday and Patriots Day, and also Sunday for Easter. So if you're looking to go to the transfer station, the only day it'll be open this coming weekend, Thursday and Saturday.
Right. Thursday and Saturday.
Okay, anything else?
Just that thing, yeah. I lost my train of thought. So the transfer station, the new container came in for the junk mail. So that's in place now, and the container that was in place, the highway department took it, and they're going to utilize it in some way, shape, or form. So.
And then we're getting a shed from
Covanta,
right?
Yeah, because we're a Covanta community. They give $5,000. They generally match DEP, but we asked for $6,700 to get the size shed that we need. So they're supposed to get back to me tomorrow on to see if we can do that. Mm-hmm. But either way, we'll get something because the other one is pretty much falling down. It's about to get the highway department's going to take it out. I don't know what they're going to do with it, or if they're going to demolish it or what.
Could you say for our viewing public what Covanta is?
So Covanta CMAS, or now it's called ReWorld, is where we contract to bring all of our trash from the transfer station. It's they turn waste into energy down there in Wareham. And yeah, for the longest time it was Covanta, then Covanta CMAS, and now it's ReWorld. They rebranded to ReWorld.
Okay, if that's it, let's move on to director approved plans.
Okay, we have a 3-bedroom repair on a 117,612 square foot lot on 6 Pequahawk Drive for a Chris Rocket. It's been through Concom and it's not replacing a cesspool. We have a 3-bedroom repair on a 20,120 square foot lot on 130 Tickle Road for a James Cordero. It's been through Concom, and this one will need a 3-bedroom deed restriction. Then we have a 4-bedroom repair on 3.2 acres on 1477 Main Road for an Eric Brown. And again, this has been through Concom, and this one is replacing a cesspool.
Any questions?
No. So I move to endorse the director approved plans for 6 Pequahawk Drive, 130 Tickle Road with a 3-bedroom deed restriction, and 1477 Main Road.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous, 2 to nothing with 1 absence. Okay. All right. Next, we go to the minutes, March 31st. Any questions or comments on that?
I didn't have any. So I move that we approve the minutes from March 31st, 2025.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous with 1 absence. Okay. All right. Now we'll go to board member updates. I'll turn to you first.
Where do I begin? So I forgot to mention in the last Board of Health meeting about Team Cow. Team Cow this weekend occurred, but it was disappointing because of the weather, and that the majority, or many people, I don't know if it was the majority, many people who had signed up did not participate. But there were people who did participate on, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They went around and picked up trash. In fact, some of them came to the Board of Health to bring their trash bags, not knowing where the dumpsters were. So Matt approved for them to turn in those bags to the transfer station. There's still a lot of trash to be picked up. My hope is that people in the community who did sign up and had signed up for a particular area on nice days will go and clean those areas, because I went out this morning with my cousin and we did part of Old Bedford Road, and filled bags in just one section, and then tried to go under the underpass, but there's construction going on there, so we only did a little bit of that. There's a lot to be done. So if people are still interested in helping, they can contact Team Cow, find out what roads we would like to have cleaned, or just go around town and get some bags. You can still probably pick up some bags from Team Cow. We've kept them at the Grange on the front, on the porch, with some grabbers, and we had some gloves. But I would encourage anybody who had signed up, who hadn't, to please go and do it. And I think I'm going to write an op-ed that says Westport has a drinking problem. Because in all the times that I volunteered to pick up trash around Westport, the number of nip bottles it's thousands of nip bottles, and beer cans and beer bottles. But not only that, Dunkin' cups, water bottles, juice bottles. It's pretty discouraging to see that each year it still piles up. And so if people really care about Westport, to please get involved and even just pick up trash in your own neighborhood. That helps, every little bit helps. And it's also good for public health, because having trash, I found dirty diapers and all kinds of other things that really need to be disposed of properly. There was an influx of tires. What does it cost to, do we do tires at the transfer station? What does it cost? Is there a special cost for a truck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
$15.
it's just a standard car or, regular truck tires, $10. And then if it's a heavy duty truck or a tractor tire, it goes up to $15 or $20.
These are just regular car tires. There were a number of them this year. So anyway, that's one thing, and I don't know that people are aware of that, but in there are bylaws that say that the town of Westport Board of Health can fine people who they observe, or anyone who observes someone throwing trash. So if you see someone throwing trash, to get a license plate number and to report it to the Board of Health, because we have fined people for throwing trash in our community. So just to encourage people to do that if they see it, but you have to have proof of it. So go ahead and take a picture if you see somebody doing it. The other thing I'm working on is the Opioid Settlement Fund Advisory Committee, and tonight I will be meeting with the PTO to talk about what the opioid funds are about, settlement funds are about, and how the parent and teachers organization can be thinking about what programs might help the kids in applying for grant funds when we get to that point when we're going to be dispersing funds. And we have another meeting tomorrow for the committee. And then, of course, there's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I've been working on scheduling events. I do have 2 speakers on May 7th to talk about the helping teens and its understanding the connection between mental health issues and substance use. And one of the speakers is a psychologist who's a researcher and on the faculty at Brown University. And her specialty is cannabis and the teen brain. And she does a lot of research around that issue. So she's going to be speaking, and then there'll be another person from Child and Family Services who is a certified addictions counselor who will also speak on those issues. And there are 2 other events, and I will, when we get closer, probably at the next meeting, I'll read what they are and when they're going to be had. But the one at the middle high school is on May 7th, and it will probably be 4:30 to 6 p.m. And I think that's it. Those are the things I've been working on.
Will you be able to do a column?
Oh, I am doing a column.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I've already started working on the column, and I should have the column by the May 1st edition of the Shorelines.
Great.
So yeah, I am working on that.
Great.
And I'm also working on flyers, and I'll be doing bombarding the Facebook pages that are in Westport with that information, all the information. So.
Okay, thank you. I've been away, so I don't have a lot of updates. I have been working a little bit with Gabby around, we're trying to develop a sort of a more detailed list of O&M providers for innovative alternative technologies, because people are struggling with, there's some high costs and having trouble getting service. So we've been reaching out, and Gabby's been reaching out, and we'll have a more targeted list. It'll make it easier for people to identify alternatives and pricing and so on. So, and related to that, we are looking at the total nitrogen testing policy, which we'll take up at our working meeting on May 20th. That's all I've got. We're just waiting for Len at 4:30. Any other topics for the next regular meeting? Unanticipated topics? We could talk a little bit about the ZBA, maybe?
No, it's not on the agenda.
Yeah.
Well, that would be my suggestion not to. But I would just say that the meeting, if you want to just reiterate the working meeting day and time.
Sure. That is May 20th, I believe, at 10 a.m. That'll be here. Starting. And yeah, the 20th at 10. And then just the following week is the Memorial Day weekend, so the Board of Health meeting will be on the 27th. Well, that's the other variation on the meeting schedule next month.
So the next regular meeting for topics, y'all going to be away?
On the 28th,
Yes.
we're going to do that hybrid, so I will be on the screen.
Right, so I'm going to talk with IT and so we can let me know how to do that.
Yeah. And I did, annual town meeting is May 6th, which unfortunately conflicts with, there's a tick biologist who's speaking at the next New Bedford Science Cafe that evening. Donna reminded me that's the annual town meeting evening, so won't be able to go to that. But if there are others who do not plan to attend town meeting and are interested in that topic, they have an expert coming in to talk about, especially focusing on Lone Star tick, which is I forget the name of the infection you can get from Lone Star tick, but the one that alpha-gal that causes the
Red meat allergy
red
or
meat
dairy allergy.
Dairy allergy, and I know someone who has had it for 2 years, so.
I wonder if it's the same person I know.
might be.
It's-
I had somebody in Audubon that I know that has it.
Oh, yeah, I think she's out of one.
So for the next regular meeting topic, did you want to do a ZBA follow-up?
Yes. Just, we can talk about our comments, and any, preparation for comments for the next round, right? The next meeting's May 21st.
And I guess one of the other things I can put a plug in for that I'm involved in is the caregiver support group
Oh, yes.
that I'm doing once a month. And again, I have about a dozen people who are coming, and we welcome anyone to come who's taking care of someone who, whether it's a parent, a spouse, a brother or a sister, anyone that you're taking care of, that you may need some support around that. We have some great people in the group that are really reaching out and helping each other, and people are feeling less alone because they have a place to go to talk about it. The next meeting will be in May, and it's on usually on a Thursday. It's usually the second Thursday of the month. So May 8th is the next meeting. It's 2:30 to 4 at the library. And this coming meeting on May 8th, we also have a guest speaker who will come at the end of the meeting. So he'll probably speak from 4 to 4:30, which will be Andy Pollack from Coastal Neighbors
Network.
Which is an organization that provides support to help keep people in their home. So if there are elders who need transportation to doctor's appointments, need some work around the house, that the Coastal Neighbors works to help provide or find people to help those that are still living at home. And that's the goal. The goal is to keep people in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So Andy Pollack will be speaking on that meeting.
Great. Okay. Matt, any other updates from your verbal report?
So what we're working on, it's funny that we're working on so many different things that it's, it's hard to really pinpoint something to talk about, one particular thing, but
How's the new person working with animal control?
excellent. Gina is working out excellent. She starts her first day of on-call duties on April 22nd. I confirmed with Nick today. I asked Nick, how's training going? You think she's ready to go on her own? And he said yes. So April 22nd, she's still here, enthusiastic about the position, and I don't anticipate any issues. So hopefully we'll finally, have coverage again when when Nick's not on.
Right.
Seems like it's going to work out. Hopefully, knock on wood. Yeah. So,
I don't know if this is real.
is that we get the ADU guidance from Title V from DEP, which I think we should just probably go over. There's a few things we don't have to go over now. It's not on the agenda or anything, but for the next topic, next meeting, or even the working meeting, we should have it on the agenda to maybe just to kind of go through and see if there's any
bedroom policy.
the bedroom policy and that all that. I'm excited for the transfer station to get these improvements done. It's going to look nice. The drainage will be improved, and overall, it's just going to give it a facelift.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's a lot of traffic that goes through there, so I think it's tired. It needs a facelift.
Yeah. Well, we managed to scrape along pretty well, all things considered. Really appreciate the earmark to support the improvements. It's been helpful.
Speaking of earmarks and grants and all that, there seems to be, there's quite a few of them being pushed at us, and last week we got probably one or two that may be of interest, but we'll have to take a look and see what's involved with applying and managing them.
New grants, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, the DEP, there's new
Yeah.
ones, yeah. Yeah, grants are wonderful, but usually you have to do either staff or, some sort of match, and it takes work to write the grant and so on. That just is, we don't have a grant writer, we don't, I know you and I have collaborated on writing a few grants, but there's only so much you can do.
So I'll just add to the TIC training. So May 21st, we're going to be having a TIC training up at White's for the collaborative group. And it's going to be good training. We're expecting some good speakers. We're still working on the agenda, but the draft agenda that was put together today looks pretty good. So I think it'll be a great training. We're coming into the season now. And there's going to be a lot of talk about the Lone Star tick and the alpha gal, and then we're going to get into the other everyday ticks, the deer ticks and dog ticks, and the diseases they carry. We're going to do some tick biology 101, some microscopes, so we can really get in and see the anatomy of a tick. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Do you think Oliver, somebody I assume she's going to the training, could write a health notes column on that then?
Yeah, pre or post training.
Post, I guess.
Yeah.
Get all the info.
Yeah. We'll put a column together.
That'd be good.
And it makes me think of, there's another training or presentation I'm going to go to. Are you scheduled for the hazardous materials from the fire department?
I am not aware of that.
There's a, I don't know that it's for the public. I'll have to check with Lieutenant News. I'll ask him tomorrow. But there is a hazardous materials presentation, and it has to do also with things like fentanyl.
Oh.
I'll be going to that on
When is
the
it?
30th in May from 6 to 9 p.m.
April 30th or May 30th?
April 30th. Yeah.
We have, as a reminder, and we can talk about it at the next meeting, but on annual town meeting, we have a warrant article for Household Houses Waste Collection Day, so maybe some useful information that comes out of that could help us plan.
Where is the training on the
It's going to
presentation?
be at the Hicks Bridge Station.
Okay.
It's right over here. I could have sworn I sent you guys an email, shared that information, because
I might have been distracted.
the reason why I knew about it was because Lieutenant Nunes is on the Opioid Settlement Fund Advisory Committee with me, and he brought it up, and then he sent it to the advisory committee, and I thought I forwarded it to you. So
It's not ringing a bell, but that doesn't mean you didn't do that.
Okay.
That just mean that I zoned out. I'll be away on the 30th, so I couldn't
it's okay.
attend.
I'm going to be there.
Okay, do we think Mr. Potter's coming for the 4:30 meeting?
Yeah, we've talked about it. He should be here any second, hopefully.
He's got a couple of minutes according to the
Yeah,
my phone.
well,
2 minutes.
all right, we'll give him his 2 minutes. I feel like I'm hearing an ice cream truck.
I think it's the playground. They have a place for kids to tap, and it makes music.
Oh, like a xylophone?
Yeah.
It's like chimes.
Yeah, no, they have.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's,
Yeah.
when I hear it, it's pretty sound.
And it's really nice to see on the weekends, especially on the weekends, how many kids come to the playground now
Oh, that's good.
with a new playground, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when the one near the Macomb School is done, because they're working on that right now. So,
I've asked Olive and Linda to get me the vaccination rates for the town for measles, COVID, flu, RSV, shingles, whatever we can get the data on. But it's been proven to be difficult to get the data. So we're still working on it, but I'm hoping we can, MIIS generally, you can get the data from there, pull the data from there, but yeah, working on it.
Yeah, well, I think data collection is more of a challenge these days in general with the CDC and so on, so maybe trickling down to the state as well.
but the measles, the spread of measles, especially in Texas and surrounding areas, is concerning. It's very concerning.
Sure. Yep.
So please have your children vaccinated.
And we haven't heard any more on avian flu recently?
No, I haven't really had any complaints, at least come through my desk.
Okay. I know we had dead birds for a while there, but
Yeah.
hopefully that's one thing that we doesn't crop up. Okay. Well, I see 4:30. Can you refresh our memory as to, because this has been continued a couple times, and there was lead in the water.
Lead and elevated nitrates, but not to 10. I think it was 8. So I did talk to Lenny about this, and we did send a letter out to the property owners. They wanted to get the water retested. They did, and the lead levels were the same. So according to what Lenny had told me, they're going to put a whole house treatment system in to take care of the lead. I'm not sure if the same system will take care of the nitrates as well. I'm guessing that the new system should take care of the nitrates to a certain degree. But anyhow, they're going to get the water retested after the system goes in, and he wanted to come in and ask the board to look at the plan, grant them the approval contingent on me reviewing the updated water test when it comes in.
Okay.
my concern about this, was the nitrates, although they're under 10, they're 8. And it's a small lot. And when we had a situation where it was below 10, and then the new owner came and they were required to have the water testing, and it was over 10, and then they could not drink their water, and I hate to have that happen to another new owner, especially.
Mhm. Well, I think what we need to get the information about if they're doing a whole house water treatment system, if they include a component that does nitrate reduction, then I'd be okay.
So I don't know. So I expected him to be here. So I don't know if he's just running late or he's not. He forgot. I have no idea.
Well, we don't have the details to make a decision, so can you text him?
Yeah, I can. Let me step out and I'll call him.
Okay. We'll give him another couple minutes, otherwise. What do you do? This is sort of an aside. One project that I'm involved in is, as you know, the conservation burial cemetery, natural burial project, and we had a talk. I attended a talk last Friday in Little Compton, and in Little Compton you're not allowed to do. I mean, in Rhode Island you're not, or I don't know whether it was just Little Compton or the state can't do home burials. She said, there was one woman who came out and said, I might want to buy property in Westport because she likes the idea of home burial, but she can't do it in Little Compton. So the state line makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But the cemetery guy was there, and he would be open to doing green burials or like create a hybrid cemetery there. So might be an option for them.
Take a few moments to meditate.
Gas line road 1477 Main Road. Bedroom count on 1477 Main Road. He's the one who did it.
Joe?
No, Len.
Oh, Len. Okay.
How's the file stuff going?
Good. They're coming in to pick up, I think, the last batch, May 1st. They sent me an email today. They're going to bring back what they took and grab the last batch and get it done.
So what does that mean then for us being able to access files electronically?
So they're, I know that they got everything scanned. They're still a little bit lagging behind on uploading everything to the system that we bought called DocuWare.
Okay.
And once everything's uploaded into that new system, we log in and you can search and upload things, download things, and it's not a difficult system to use. It's just, you know, when you've never used it, you just need to take some time to learn it, but it's a pretty easy system to use. And so now going forward, the trick is going to be maintaining, right? New stuff comes in. So I think what we're going to do is blast an email out to everybody, letting them know that septic plan submissions all need to be digital going forward. So we can upload them right into the new system and not, you know, get back into the same boat after a few years. So, and the electronic permitting software system is May 29th, I think. We have a meeting with them. So Nancy and I are trying to find the time to figure out what we need to give to them to put on the system for all of our applications. We've got quite a bit of applications and documents that need to go on the system. So we're working on that. At the same time, we're trying to figure out and learn the new web page that's coming into play for the town. So we've been on different trainings for that, trying to, because I don't know exactly when that's going to go live, but I would assume it's getting close.
Here he is.
Hello, Mr. Potter.
You get a chance to comb my hair, so. Sorry, I forgot.
That's okay.
So anyway, Lynn Potter here for Tom Hancock Estate, 10D Drive.
Need a copy of this, Lynn?
Yeah. So what happened is they did a second test for lead with the culprit, and they ran the water some. The daughter stayed in the house for a week or so. They ran the water, did a second test last week. The level stayed the same. So what their intent to do is they're going to put a whole water treatment system in tomorrow, and then take a test again. And they claim that the water treatment system will not only reduce the iron, manganese, and the lead, but it'll also, you know, help keep the water cleaner. So my suggestion is to, if the board would approve it, if Matt can approve the water test when it comes in, instead of coming back here to a formal meeting, if the water quality is okay, we can do it that way. And as far as the 8,
The nitrate.
yeah, 8 nitrates, 8 milligrams per liter, which is over the 5, less than 10. The cost of the D-nite system, I made an estimate out. That must be it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12,000 for the D-nite and 25,500 for the system. I think. So, and the value of the home was 328.
324.
324, yeah. So.
The water filtration system, is it including treatment for the nitrates?
I don't think it's a nitrate system. No, you'd have to have a special treatment for that. I don't think this one does. No, they do have a nitrate filter that you can get and put that in there.
I'd be interested in seeing if they'd be willing to do that,
All right.
and then get a nitrate test
Yep.
as part of the water test.
Yep.
Any comments, questions?
No, because we went over the plan itself the last time. The plan itself was fine. It's just a matter of how the board wants to address the lead and the nitrates and Lenny's proposal.
How soon after the filtration system is put in, would there be an immediate reduction of the lead, or is it something that's going to take some time before we see changes?
She put it in last week, and they're running the water, and then she'll take the system is in, so they're going to take the sample tomorrow. That won't have the nitrate filter in.
Right.
Right.
You Let's see what the nitrates do after. I'll call the company that's doing the water filtration system and see what they think about the nitrates.
Okay.
I was relying on the 10% differential. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, it's just, it's getting close to the 10. And we're not necessarily saying a D-night system, but
Right.
since they're putting in a water filtration system,
Yep.
adding that component is
That's a
it's
separate.
not a $37,000 cost to add that component, so that
No.
would be,
It's a separate system, a separate filter.
yeah.
Yeah, and my concern, Lenny, as I said the last time, was we had a case like this where it wasn't 10, it was under 10, maybe it was 8.9, whatever it was.
Yep.
And then they moved in and it shot up over 10 and then it was no longer potable, and I felt really bad for that family that moved in,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
So
I'll find out.
I think they need to do something.
Yep.
And then we need to have some follow-up water testing.
All right, I'll do that. No problem.
Okay, so I think we can do an approval contingent upon
Right.
uh,
want everything
adding
in
the,
that, and then he can report to you.
right, so adding the D-night component to the water filtration system,
Yeah.
follow-up water test, and Matt's review and approval, and then that would allow you to go forward.
Are you gonna grant the variance?
That's what I was proposing,
Okay,
Yeah.
with those conditions.
Yeah.
okay.
And does it need, I didn't have it.
It's gonna need the whole harmless 3-bedroom deed restriction.
Yeah.
Has it had Concom?
Deed
Yes.
restriction too.
Yep.
Deed
Yeah.
restriction.
Yep, and it's had Concom, so, you prepared to do that motion?
I think what I will do is, I'll tell them to hold off on the water test when they put that D-night filter in.
Yeah, that makes
Then they
sense.
can do one
Where's-
sample.
I don't have Concom on here, do you have it?
I think so.
Oh, wait a minute, there.
But there
That's
to the
where
bottom right.
It's kind of embedded into some other stuff over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
And it's usually, okay.
there's no wetlands within 300 feet of it.
Okay.
I guarantee it. Okay?
A quick question, 1477 Main Road, you just did that?
Sounds familiar. Is that Eric Brown?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the bedroom count in that house?
The board went, I don't know who went there, Joe or somebody went there, 4.
Okay,
4.
right, the assessor's plan was carved as
Assessor said
3.
3, I think.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it wasn't an expansion.
No, I told the owner, Eric Brown, who inherited his wife inherited the house. I had the board go down there and check it, but he thought he had 4. I don't know if Joe went, Gabby went, or Joan, I don't know.
I think it was Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want,
I made
didn't know.
double sure that was the case.
Thank you.
I don't want to do it twice.
Wait a minute,
Okay.
we haven't voted yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, go ahead, if you, are you?
I'll try. I'll move that we approve the plan for 10D Drive, dated 1/4/25, owned by Thomas Hancock Estates, with a maximum feasible compliant variance, that the SAS is less than 100 feet but more than 50 feet from the well. The proposed distance is 61 feet, with the following conditions: a hold harmless agreement, 3-bedroom deed restriction, the addition of a filtration system, including D-night filtration system, and follow-up water testing to be assessed and by Matt, and then move forward if everything's correct or everything's improved.
Okay, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous, 2-0 with 1 absence. Thank you, Mr. Potter.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Okay. Madam, would you do the honors?
Yes, so being there no further business, I move that we adjourn this meeting at 4:47 p.m.
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous, thank you.